On. All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to the 9th session of the ACICP test prep course. And I am going to share my screen momentarily and give you a quick overview of what we're going to do today. So as usual, we will do a homework review. Then we will do a sentence completion review, because I think it was Michelle last time who said, hey, let's do a little bit more sentence completion work. So we're going to go through an exercise in that regard and take a look at that. Then we're going to finish up what we did last week, which is the idioms section of a practice exam. So we'll finish that idioms section. Not too many left, but we'll finish that up. Then we'll take a break, and then we'll do our general overview. I've got a few exercises that we can work on at the end of class. So that is roughly our schedule for today. Moving on to the next slide. Let's see here. Okay, I wanted to let you all know, everybody who's listening in the future and everybody who's here right now, I'm going to be offering a flash session, sort of like a spontaneous session. Wait, by the way, can you hear me? Is my audio okay?
No, it's totally fine.
Okay, great, thank you. Good. But I'm going to be offering a sort of special session on Sunday, November 28th, because we found out that the exam is, I believe it's the 30th of November, that Tuesday, which provides one Sunday free, because we finish the 10th lesson or session next Sunday. Then there's a vacant or open Sunday, and then there's the Tuesday exam. So I thought, hey, let's use that Sunday if you want. It's not part of the course. You're not obligated to go or join us, but I just wanted to offer that as a flash session, just if you want a little bit more review. And of course, we're going to be reviewing just the essential parts of the English proficiency section. So of course, we'll review sentence completion, synonyms in context, synonyms in general, antonyms in general, and idioms in general. So it's just one last 2.5 hour Sunday on November 28th. And so I just wanted to let you know that it's going to be $28, just a sort of one-off session that I wanted to offer outside of the 10-week course. So any questions from Lorena or Liliana so far? All right, great. And then finally, just wanted to quickly review the structure of the exam. I know we reviewed this last week, but I wanted to review it again just so we can really ingrain or absorb the structure. So part 1 of the exam is our section, the section that we've been working on, the General English Proficiency section, part 1. It's 75 questions. We go over sentence completion, synonyms in context, synonyms in general, antonyms in general, and idioms in general. And I marked this section here because we haven't yet finished a practice review of that, but we will finish that today. And then, of course, part 2, which is more of Dr. Gabitas's section, where you go over sentence completion, court-related terminology, sequences, and then scenarios. And that will be 58 total questions. So just in general, that's kind of like the backbone, the vertebrae of the exam. Any questions there? All right, awesome. So let's jump into it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up my notes here. One second. Let me do this transition. All right. So before we do the homework, I thought we could do just a real quick antonym burst. So by this, I mean, I'm going to be giving you these words, and I'd like you to spontaneously, as best as you can, give me a possible antonym. So if I say ascend, what could be a possible antonym for the verb ascend? What comes to mind? Anything that comes to mind? Ooh, Lorena says what?
Descend.
Perfect. Yeah, so we've got ascend going up, and then descend going down. Perfect contrast. Very nice, Lorena. So that's exactly how this works. We'll do the next one here. Birth, So what could be an antonym of birth? Just right off the top of your head.
Death?
Death. Yes. A little bit somber, but we've got
Yeah,
birth.
I know. I like.
Yeah, you're like, Halloween's over. What are you talking about here? But yeah, exactly. So we've got birth, the beginning of life, babies, happiness, greatness, and then death, the sadness of the end. So good. Let's move on here. I'm doing one for each of the 26 letters of the alphabet. Compliment. What could be an... Whoa, very nice. Very nice. Right off the bat from Liliana. Insult. I insult you. That's a negative, right? And then, hey, nice hat or nice shoes. Compliment. Something that's positive. Very nice. And I recognize that this is more or less a review, but I just wanted to do this quick exercise. Next one, D. Demand. The opposite of demand. Kind of an economic pair here. There's a high demand for laptop computers in the 21st century.
Lack?
Okay, lack. Oh, very nice. Yeah, the opposite of want, which is sort of the lack of demand. Yeah, I guess so. I'm thinking of a more specific word here that's kind of economic. Demand, and on Friday night, there's a demand for pizza usually, and the pizza shop gives the pizza. Hey, here's the pepperoni. Here's the Hawaiian. They.
Oh, is it supply?
Yes, it is. Very nice, Liliana. Very nice. Supply. Perfect. Yeah, and these are definitely a pair. They go together quite well. Supply and demand. Supply and demand. Very nice, Liliana. Good. Move to the next one. Expand. Tricky. Expand and
Reduce?
Reduce. Good try. Good try. Something a little bit. We want
I
something.
love when you say that in the chat. Good try, Lorena.
Well, it is. You often have good tries, right? And I don't want to discourage you, and you're so close to them. But yeah, it is reduced, but we want something a little bit more specific. I'll give you a hint. Begins with C.
Oh, constrict?
Very close. Contract.
Contraction?
Yes, contract. Contract.
Contract.
Yeah. So
And contract.
perfect. Exactly. Exactly. Very nice. Good. And you might be thinking like, wait, contract? Are you talking about work and business? That's a different word. It's a homonym, same sound, same spelling, but just a different definition. That's, a contract. This is the emphasis is on the second syllable, contract. Contract. Yes. Good. Good.
We use that in.
Use that where?
I use that in my work. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Nice.
After a contraction, we always have a release.
Exactly.
And release.
Exactly. Very nice. Nice and practical use. Good. So we've got fiction, the antonym of
Non-fiction.
okay, yes, or it's another F word.
Fact?
Yes, it is. Very nice. Good. So fact and fiction, or if we're talking about, literary, the literary world, the library world, nonfiction, specifically books. Great. Nice. Going well so far. Next one is gloomy. It's a gloomy day outside. I think there are multiple possibilities for this one. Gloomy.
Happy?
Happy. Yep. Happy works. What else?
Content.
Content. Okay. Thinking of another one here with CH. Ending with FUL.
Cheerful?
Yes, indeed. Well done. cheerful, happy, bright, feeling optimistic, gloomy, and then cheerful. Perfect. Very nice, Liliana. Next one here, let's move on. Huge. Huge. Whoa, that's huge.
Small.
Tiny, tiny. Yeah, small, small, yes. Small, I think of as sort of just very general. It's small. But because huge is more than big, like a huge elephant, we want something a little bit more specific than big. Tiny. Tiny is nice and specific. Tiny, tiny. Good. Great. Moving on. Next one. Idle. Interesting. Idle. After breaking my leg, I was idle and healing for many weeks. Idle. Think of this as the adjective, not the noun, not like something that you revere or worship. This is the adjective.
Bless you.
Excuse me. Thank you. Thank you. So I'll give you a hint. Begins with A.
Oh, active.
Yes. Very good. Very good. Idle, sort of inert, not moving, and then active. Active. Very nice. Idle and active. Good. Just a few more here. We're about halfway. Next one is joy. Joy. I feel such joy on Christmas morning, hanging out with my family. It is just a joyous experience. I feel such joy. And then the opposite of that would be
Well, like sad, but a little bit more maybe.
good. Good. So Liliana, what is joy is the noun, right? And so what then would be the noun form of sad?
Like upset.
Same word, sad, but in the noun form.
Oh,
like
sadness.
Sadness. Yes, exactly. Exactly. And you know what? This is an important point, because when you're taking the exam, let's say you see an example that has joy. It's, number 14 says joy. You know that your answer must also be a noun. So if you chose sad, that might be the wrong one, even though it's the same concept. Just be careful to choose the equivalent part of speech. Noun, noun, adjective, adjective, verb, verb. Just get into the habit of that when you're taking the exam. Okay, good. Next one here, knowledge. What is the antonym of knowledge?
Ignore.
Ignore is the verb. You're very close. What's the noun?
Ignorant.
That's the adjective.
Adjective.
What's the noun? You got it. You're so close. Maybe Liliana knows.
Ignorance.
Yes, very nice. Very nice. Ignorance. CE to complete the noun. Very nice. That was a team effort. Team effort. Good job. Awesome. Next one here. Likely. Likely. Pretty simple.
Unlikely.
Yeah. Unlikely. Likely and unlikely to happen. Next one here is moist. This cookie is moist.
Dry.
Dry. Yeah, simple. Very nice. Dry cookie and a moist cookie. Dry and moist. Good. Next one here. None. Sorry, we have none. So none is 0. Then what must 100 be?
20.
Yes. Yes.
Full?
Yeah, yes. I'll put them down. I'll put them down. Plenty, full. I'm thinking of something that's much more precise. None and
A lot?
yes, yes. Here, I'll give you a hint. Begins with A. It's a short word. How many family members went to Liliana's Christmas party? Every single one of them, or we can say 100%. 2 more letters. They're the same letters. I'll give you the first or the second letter.
Oh, all.
Oh, yes. Very good. Very good. It was like pulling teeth. I felt like a dentist on that one. Just
Oh my God.
pulling out teeth. Sometimes they're right in front of your nose, right? So tricky. Good. Nice. All right, next one here. Ordinary. That's ordinary. Or
Extraordinary.
yes, very good. Extraordinary. And we can pronounce this as extraordinary or extraordinary. Both are possible. Good. Next one here. Just a few more left. Plentiful. Tricky. We have plentiful oranges for the whole family. We have so many. We have plentiful. Or not plentiful, only
Like on?
a few. And then Lorena said what?
I don't know if it could be unplentiful.
Good try. Nah.
No.
You might
This
you
word,
might think
yeah.
so. You might think so, but nah.
Yeah. I
I'm
didn't
gonna-
hear that.
Yeah. Here, I'm going to give you the first 2 letters of the one I'm thinking of. Sp. Sp. We only have 2 oranges. They are pretty.
What?
What, Liliana?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay. Sparse. Sparse. Yeah, not many. Not many. Just sparse. Great. Next one here is regret. This one's going to be tricky, I think. Regret. Oh, I feel regret. I didn't do my homework. Gosh, why didn't I do that? I feel regret. Or I did my homework. Nice. Awesome. Glad I did that. I feel responsible.
Is it proud?
Could be proud. I'm gonna add that one. Yeah. Feel proud of my choice in the past. Okay. And then the other one that I'm gonna add, it's a little bit out of left field, but regret and rejoice. Rejoice. Proud being the adjective, and then rejoice being the verb. Both work. Both are fine. Rejoice, like, celebrating, feeling happy. Yeah, I did that. I made the right decision 2 years ago. Yeah, I feel good about that. Okay. Just a few more. Next one here. The S word is sturdy. Sturdy. Or the antonym.
Fragile?
Fragile. What's another one?
Witty?
Not quite.
Oh, weak?
Yes, good job. Fragile, weak, and then sturdy. Sturdy. Good. Timid. Tímido, I think. Timid. Timid.
Extroverted.
Extroverted. Okay. Extroverted, or yes, I can. I can.
Mm.
Bold, or maybe even confident. Bold or confident. Good. Just a couple. Oh, yeah, three more. Union. This is a noun. Union. Come together in a union. Or,
Apart.
yes, what is apart as a noun that begins with S?
Separate.
Yes, as a noun, separates the verb. Separate.
Separation.
One more time.
Separation.
Yes, good job. Team effort again. Separation. Very nice. Yep. So we've got the noun and the other noun. And then I'll paste in the last two here. And we'll do the second to last. Vacant. Vacant. The hotel on the highway is vacant. We can go stay there tonight. It is empty. Well, enough for clients. So vacant, and the opposite of empty or available is the hotel is full. It's
At capacity.
at capacity. Very nice. Or beginning with O. Oh, sorry, you can't come in. The bathroom
Occupied.
is, yes, very nice. Nice. Occupied. It's occupied. It's not available. It's not vacant. Very good. Good. And then the last one here this evening, maybe a little bit tricky, but I think it's a great one to review. Wax and the temperature during the day in Arizona waxes, increases, and decreases, also beginning with a W. This one might be tricky. Wax and
Waste.
good try. No. Wane. Wane. Yeah, so wax is increase. And then wane is decrease. And these always go together as a pair. And part of their being a pair is the alliteration, the WW sound, wax and wane, wax and wane. So you'll always hear these as a pair, wax and wane. So wax is like expand or increase. And then wane is like reduce and decrease. Good. Or contract. Good. Whew. All right. So a nice antonym burst to start us off this evening. Any questions, any word or pair that you'd like to quickly review before we move on? All right. Awesome. If you do, just make a note and we can come back to it at the end, but really good job. Let's move on now to the homework review. And I'm going to pull up the questions. Oh, who do we have? Is it Veronica? That's my guess. Oh, it's Michelle. Michelle is joining us. Wow. Michelle, the champion of the Telegram quizzes,
Yeah.
has graced us with her presence. Welcome, Michelle. How you doing? Can you hear us? I think she can, but she's getting connected. So, okay, let me pull up the homework here. Okay. So Number one, give an example using the idiom that mentions a group of united people. Hello, Michelle. Glad you could join us. How are you doing?
Doing good. And you?
Good. Doing great. Doing great. So, Michelle, since you are the newcomer this evening, I'm going to let you do number one. So please
Okay.
give us an example using the idiom that means a group of united people. Huh? Huh.
When you mean example, you mean like
Like a
I made a
sentence.
sen- Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
perfect. Perfect.
Okay. Let me pull it out. I did work
Yep.
on this one.
Yep.
So
Take your time.
Mm, um, okay. Since the three siblings were sure that their parents wouldn't get them that expensive gift for Christmas,
We're sure their parents.
were sure that their parents wouldn't get them that expensive gift for Christmas.
Yes.
They formed a full court press
Wow.
in the hopes to convince them.
In the hopes. Okay. So you use the infinitive to convince. I'm going to recommend in the hopes of, and you tell me what part of speech.
In the hopes of.
Here, let me make this a little better, a little bigger too. Let's see. In the hopes of, so instead of the infinitive, what can we use here? In the hope, good. So what would that be?
Convincing.
Yes, very nice. Very nice. Awesome. Good work, Michelle, and good advice there, Lorena. So since the three siblings were sure that their parents wouldn't get them that expensive gift for Christmas, they formed a full court press in the hopes of convincing them. Is this an autobiographical story from your family, Michelle? Did you do this?
I don't think I did. I hope not.
Probably you did. No?
Oh my gosh. No, please.
I know I did. I know
Oh
I
my
did with
God.
my siblings. Yeah. Yeah, that happens. Nice. Good. Let's do one more. Anybody have another example from full court press? Full court press. Okay. Lorena, go ahead. Let me just get my fingers ready for writing a book. Okay, go ahead.
Noah's church today's church.
Okay.
We should put the full court press on him to find the truth.
One more time. We should
We
put the
should put the
Mhm.
full court press on him to find the truth.
Wow. Great. We should put the full court press on him to find the truth. And who are you thinking him could be? What kind of person is him?
The wingness. I was thinking in
Hmm.
court.
Yeah. Yeah. And so you might think it's a court situation, but not always for this idiom. Like, for example, Christmas. But it certainly could be a court scenario. And in that case, let's say it's the witness. Perfect. Perfect.
Yes, I read that it's more for games than for other things.
Yeah, like basketball, often they'll use it. Good. Great. Very nice. All right, let's move on here. Thank you both. Number two, I'm going to ask Liliana, please give an example using the idiom that means hostility between people.
So for this one, I think I chose the wrong idiom. Now that I looked back at it, I chose cross purposes at first, but it's bad blood, huh? I'm pretty sure. Oh, you're on mute.
Oh, okay, pardon me. But so I'm going to ask the class, what do you think about Liliana's point about cross purposes? Do you think that's the one? What do you think, Michelle?
It could work if I would say it could work. It's not that one, but you could work it out probably.
Okay. Okay. And Michelle, what do you think is the most appropriate idiom here?
Bad blood,
Bad blood.
how
Yes.
Liliana mentioned. Yeah.
Okay, good, good. Yeah, so in that case, Liliana, can you give us your cross purposes example, or do you want to give the other example? It's up to you.
I could give you the sentence I made.
Sure.
Yeah, I put, we weren't making any progress since we were working at cross purposes.
Perfect. Very nice. And I like that you used the gerund and the verb working, which often accompanies this expression at cross purposes. Very nice. Very nice. Good. Yeah, that works. Not exactly the one that I was thinking of, but it works. Let's move on to Michelle. Please give us your bad blood example.
Okay. They've had bad blood between them since they were teens. And they still can't talk to each other after 20 years.
Wow. How sad. Yeah, I mean, that happens, right? That
Yeah,
happens in life. Yikes. Yep. Yep. Good. Very nice. Okay, good. Let's move on here. Just a few more left. I'm going to give number 3 to Lorena. Please give an example using the idiom that means wanting revenge.
I didn't do that one, but I know it is acts in the green,
Yes.
but I couldn't come with a great example. Let's say the acts in the green that the lawyer
Keep going. Keep going.
lawyer gives
Okay. Keep going.
in the court
Yes.
wasn't enough
Okay.
to the witness revenge or to something is missing there.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Not to,
Usually we'll use this with the verb have or has.
has a,
And I would also say that it's more like potential action. It hasn't happened yet because I'm still grinding my axe. And I'm sort of like planning my revenge. You know, it's like it's potential energy, it's potential vengeance. So therefore, we use have It's like you have this state of mind, you have this quality of vengeance. So maybe we can rework this. Let me start by saying the lawyer
Mhm.
has an axe to grind.
Mm.
And you tell me why, Lorena, because why? Why does he or
Wanna
she?
win?
Go ahead.
He wants to win the case, or
Yes, but do not all attorneys hope to win? What is unique about this that would invite vengeance? It's tricky. It's a tricky one here, I know.
yeah, I couldn't find a great one for it. So
Okay. Here, let
I'm sorry.
me offer this, Lorena. The lawyer has an axe to grind because the let's say the defendant
Mhm.
we can say hurt him personally, something like that, where it's sort of like a personal situation, and the prosecutor has an axe to grind against the defendant. He really wants to get the defendant in jail or to pay money because there might be a personal element to the situation, something like that, as an example. Good. I'm glad we worked through that. Let's go to Liliana. Go ahead. What is your example?
For the same one, number 3.
Yes, please.
So I put, we asked a friend to dog sit.
I like where this is going.
But when we came back, our dog was missing.
Oh no.
Now that she has her own dogs, I have an axe to grind.
Oh.
Yeah.
In the form of what? What are you considering vengefully?
Well, well, for her dog to go missing.
Oh no.
You can feel what I felt.
Oh my gosh.
I never do it though.
Yeah, they probably would think twice about inviting you to dog sit, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Liliana, is this true? Is this a biographical example?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Really?
So sad. Yeah.
Yikes. I'm sorry to hear that. When did that happen?
It was a while ago, but I haven't forgotten about it. But yeah, she left the gate open and he ran out.
Oh man. Whew, yeah, I understand. I used to have a dog too, and whew, that's not easy to get over.
Yeah,
Let's
no,
say that.
still haven't.
Yeah, yeah. Oof. All right. Well, perfect example for this idiom here. Nice. And notice here, I like that you used have, perfect verb to use for this idiom. They work well together. Have an axe to grind, potential energy, potential vengeance. Perfect. Good. Got 2 more here. I'm going to ask Michelle, please provide a sentence using knack.
My partner says that I have a knack
Yep.
for being crafty with paper.
Wow. Is it true?
Yes, yeah.
Wow. What do you do? Origami or something else?
Yeah, I do origami. I got into scrapbooking. I love decorating letters. I just love working and playing with paper.
That's really
Yeah.
cool. That's a great craft you have there. Nice. So you have a knack, or in other words, we can say that Michelle has a skill, has an ability to work and be creative with paper. Very nice. Very nice. Good. I'm going to ask Lorena. Yeah, give us an example of knack, maybe about dancing or teaching or anything.
some professors has the knack,
Oh, has.
have the knack
Good. A knack. Good.
has a knack of teaching students throughout amusing lectures.
Good. Okay. So
Amusing lectures.
you're missing one preposition.
Amusing lectures
Oh. Good.
of
Thank you.
teaching.
Yes. Perfect.
Of
Of teaching. Yeah, you got it. Very nice. Good. Some professors have a knack. Oh, excuse me. Not of. My mistake.
What does it have in there? 4.
Yes. Good.
Really?
Yep. Ah,
My English.
no, you're working through it. Prepositions are so annoying. I mean,
Knack for teaching. Has a knack for.
good. Yeah. Some professors have a knack for teaching students throughout amusing lectures. Good. Good. And then last but not least, we have number 5. And this one might be a little bit tricky with reproach, but let's go to Liliana and I'll ask, what is your example here? Reproach.
I put, my sister gave me a look of reproach after I told her she couldn't borrow my shirt.
Wow. A look of reproach. Very nice. After I told her she couldn't borrow my shirt. Sounds like my sister's growing up. Yep, good. So my sister gave me a look of reproach. Sort of almost remember grimace. We talked about grimace, that it's like, it's kind of like that. It's a look of maybe anger or disgust or distress or disappointment. After I told her she couldn't borrow my shirt. Yeah, very nice. And then let's do one more with Michelle. I'm curious to hear what your example is.
Okay, mine is a little bit long, but
Okay, I'll get ready. Go ahead.
It was hard for Sam to reproach.
Okay, using it as a verb. Good.
His partner Emily.
Good. Yes.
After she had sent their dog for grooming. And then semicolon with the
Okay.
period and the comma.
Yep, good.
He really liked its fluffy fur.
Okay.
But it was in dire need for a bath.
Oh, nice. Of a bath. Wow. Okay, so let's work through this. It was hard for Sam to reproach his partner Emily after she had sent her dog for grooming. Okay, now I get it. This is why he can't reproach her. This is the reason why. It's because he really liked its fluffy fur, but it was in dire need of a bath. So the dog went to get grooming, and he got a haircut, and maybe like a hair blow, hair dry, but without a bath. Is that right?
Right, yes.
Okay. Maybe the bath was a little bit too expensive, something like that. Oh, that's awesome. Good. That's an awesome one there. So, and you know what I really like about this one, Michelle, is it's sort of like a negative, almost like a double negative, where you used, it was hard for her to reproach. So like negative, and then we have positive, meaning he liked the result of the fluffy fur. So very, very nice, kind of complicated in a great way. So good job. All right. Any questions from the homework review? All right. If you do, write it down and we can review at the end. Now, by special request, I think it was Michelle who last week asked about sentence completion practice. And so that's what I'd like to get into now. And So what I pulled together was an exercise from a book that I had been researching on how to go about doing sentence completion and talking a little bit about strategy, which I think might be useful. So let's just read through this and try some of the examples and talk about it. So I'm going to ask Michelle to start us off with this paragraph when you are ready.
You might wonder what kinds of strategies you can use to master sentence completions. When it comes to sentence completions, the word that does not appear is the key to the meaning of the sentence. The words that do appear offer clues to the missing word. If you can find out how the words that appear are connected, you can find the correct answer. This means that you must know more than just the meaning of the words involved. You must also understand the logic of the sentence.
Good.
Here is a sampling of strategies.
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah. So it's not just knowing what word, knowing its definition, it's knowing the context of the sentence. And so we're going to work through this here. And go ahead, Michelle, keep on going.
Read the entire sentence saying blank for the blanks. This gives you an overall sense of the meaning of the sentence and helps you figure out how the parts of the sentence relate to each other. If an answer occurs to you before you even look at the choices, you may have a synonym for the answer or the answer itself.
Good. Yeah. So if it's intuitively obvious to you, that might be a good sign, might be a signal that you have a synonym or you have the exact answer. So that's good. Let's move on. Go ahead, Michelle.
Pay special attention to introductory and transitional words, but although, however, yet, even though, because they are key to forming the logical structure of the sentence.
Good. Yeah. So these are words that are, of course, very useful, even though, yet, however, although, but. Good. So we'll take a look at that. Let's move on to Lorena. Go ahead.
Be sure your choice is both logical and grammatically correct.
Yes, and excuse me, I want to pause here if I may. Remember we were talking about, which word was it? It was way back here. We were talking about, yes, joy, and I think Liliana said sad, something like that. But we know that joy is a noun, and so then we need the noun sadness, not just sad, even though sad definitionally is correct. We want it also to be grammatically correct. So that's an example of needing the grammar to be correct as well. Okay, go ahead, Lorena.
If you don't know some words, use elimination and educated guessing, which means you're able to eliminate one or more of the choices as definitely wrong, or guessing from context when you know a related word.
Good. Yeah. So of course we can. Oh, just one second, please. Just using process of elimination, there must be at least one or two that are clearly wrong or suspect. We all know this by taking exams in school, right? So just the same process works here. Okay, and go ahead, Lorena.
Restatement, comparison, contrast, cause and effect.
Okay, so now we're going to move on.
I'm sorry, I'm just reading that, I forgot.
Yeah, go ahead.
Here is an example of a cause and effect sentence completion question. After a brief and violent blank, the president, General Monsanto, declared himself the dictator of the country.
All right, so let me format this a little bit better so you can see it. So here we have this is an example, and I'd like to work on this with you all. So after a brief and violent blank, remember we can say the word blank, or rather that ousted the president, General Monsanto declared himself the dictator of the country. So we have 5 options here: nuance, coup, solicitation, upbraiding, and lament. Wow. So this is a tricky one, and I think very like what you might see on the exam. A lot of potential answers here. Is there any answer that you think we can immediately rule out or eliminate? What do you think? Liliana, go ahead.
I'd say E, lament, because it means like to be sorry for.
Very nice. I totally agree with that. Yeah, it's something that we can scratch your head and say, what, lament? No, it's not going to be right. No. Good. So that's one we can eliminate immediately. Good. Are there any others that look really suspicious right off the bat, just spontaneously? Yeah, go ahead. Oh, I think you're muted.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Nuance, probably.
Nuance.
Nuance.
Why do you
Yeah.
choose that one, Michelle?
Because I was guessing it's meaning like annoyance.
Okay.
So I did not think of something violent wouldn't be, well, it could be, but I don't know, just thought it wouldn't be an option.
Okay. Nuance is actually separate from annoyance or annoying. Even though it looks and it sounds very similar, it does sound similar. Nuance is like very small differences in a situation. Like think about like Monet, the painter. You know Monet?
Yeah.
Monet's painting is very nuanced, like little details everywhere. It's kind of complex and interesting. It has nuance, like subtle little differences and details. So actually, I would agree, nuance is not something that we can consider, but for a different reason. It's not annoyance, it's something different. But yeah, I'll take that one. Anything else that you see as being a red flag? Like, no, that's not the answer. Anything else? Okay, now let's move on to what you think the answer might be. Anybody have a guess? Yeah, Liliana.
I thought D, upbraiding.
Okay, okay. Possible. And I'll just point out the key words here. We've got oust. That might be a strange vocab word. It means to sort of like eject, to force somebody out, forcing out the president here. So we have oust, that's a key word. We have violent. Okay, so some sort of violent action here. We have general, which indicates military background. And then now we have dictator, which again is sort of in line with oust, violent, military potentially, all sort of seemingly suspicious, potentially bad or negative. Dictator. Any other guesses? Upbraiding, anything else? I'll give you a hint. Think about the French language. The French language. I think in Spanish, you guys also borrowed this word from French, talking about political changes. All right. Oh, go ahead, Michelle.
I was thinking B, but I don't know what would be the word in Spanish. I don't think I ever heard it, actually.
Don't you guys say like something like coup d'etat, something like that? Coup d'etat? No?
Not me. I do not remember. I don't,
Okay.
unless Lorena or Liliana knows. I don't know.
Lorena? I think her video might have frozen. Well, actually, good guess. That's the answer. Coup is correct.
Yep.
And go ahead, Lorena. You were
Yeah,
saying?
we said in Spanish golpe de estado, golpe something. But
Ah,
I didn't know that it was a French. I didn't know that it was French.
yeah. At least the English version, coup d'état, is like a forced ejection. So good. And then because it's French, the P is silent. Silent P. It just sounds like coup, like coup. Good. Solicitation is asking or requesting. So that doesn't quite fit. The violent request, no. Upbraiding is to criticize, or we can say criticism. And it's not quite criticism, violent criticism, not exactly. We want a real physical action, and that in this case is coup. It's sort of like a revolution. All right. Tricky one, tricky one. Any questions with this one before we move on? We're actually going to read their notes here. I'll read this. It says the answer is choice B. A coup, noun, is a sudden and decisive change in leadership illegally or by force. It's a takeover, a revolution. What the cause led the general to declare himself dictator? The result? Yeah, so we have cause, and the result is he becomes dictator. So we're looking for a cause, and that's what the coup is. It is the cause. Something brief and violent that ousted the president, which is the coup. So that is the cause. The result is he is then dictator. So again, this is a cause and effect type of example. Okay, let's move on to another one. This is a restatement question. And I'm going to ask, let me give you the full view. I'm going to ask Liliana to read through this one.
The city council formed a committee to simplify several dozen blank city ordinances that were unnecessarily complicated and out of date.
Interesting. The city council formed a committee to simplify several dozen blank city ordinances that were unnecessarily complicated and out of date. So again, we're looking at restatement.
Do I need to guess or?
Yeah, go ahead when you're ready.
Oh, okay.
This is a
I don't
challenging
know
one.
what some of the words mean, but I guess my best guess would be B, empirical.
Okay, empirical. All right, possibility. Thank you. Lorena, what do you think here? What do you think might be the right answer? Complicated and out of date. So we are restating out of date and complicated. We're trying to find like the cousin of these words here. We're restating these in our answers.
I don't know.
Okay, yeah, tricky one. Michelle, you are our last hope. What do you think?
I would go with B as well.
Empirical. What does empirical mean?
Sounds like it starts with empire.
Ooh,
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, good guess. Empirical is more like observable. So think about the sciences. Let's just say how how can I say, let's just say biology. Biology is empirical. We can see what's going on with species and animals and how they behave. It's an empirical science because we can observe it. So that's what empirical is. Don't think it quite fits here, but good try. Any final guesses before we take a look at the answer?
Could be A.
Could be feckless. Could be feckless.
Yes, because you
Feckless.
say out of a space. I don't know what is feckless, but it's something less. So
Okay. Yep, good point. It is something less. Feckless. My understanding of feckless is like ineffective. It doesn't have substance. It's without effect. That's my understanding of feckless. Maybe that's the one. We'll take a look. Oh, all right, let's read here. So the answer is choice C, Byzantine. Ooh, what a tricky one. Byzantine, an adjective that means highly complicated and intricate. So think about Byzantine art, that historical period. I believe like the Greeks and Romans, the Byzantine time of history, Byzantine art, highly complicated and intricate. Here, you are looking for a restatement of the clue words complicated and out of date, sort of a compound adjective here, out of date, and for something that needs simplifying. Okay, yeah, so if something is very complicated, we need something that we want to simplify. Okay, and so that would be Byzantine. Wow, that's a very challenging one. Very, very challenging one. We would have to know that Byzantine means overly complicated and intricate, complex. Wow, wow. That one stumped me the first time I read it. So tricky, tricky. But I think the takeaway here is that for this kind of context question, we're trying to find something that restates these key words. We're trying to find the cousin or the synonym of complicated and out of date. And then it just so happens that Byzantine is that best answer. Oof, oof. All right. Let's move on for the sake of time. We've got about 10 more minutes before the break. Let me just take a look. All right, so not too much more. Okay, I'll read through. As you practice sentence completions, you may discover signal words and phrases. That's important. Signal words and phrases, kind of like keywords, clues that help you choose the correct answer. So for example, this would have been complicated, out of date. Those are our signals. Here are common signal words and an example for each kind of question. Okay, so going back to restatement, namely, in other words, in fact, and then that is. So these will indicate perhaps restatement. Basically, we're trying to find the synonym for the restatement type question. Let's do this example here. Unfortunately, we already saw it. I already showed you the answer, but I'll read through it anyway. For example, the pickpocket was a trickster. In other words, good. So it's like we've got trickster, and then in other words, another way of saying it is blank. The answer which restates trickster might be knave or scoundrel. Someone who's kind of tricky, maybe mischievous, someone not to be trusted. And these are synonyms of trickster. So that's our signal word, our clue word. Well, not exactly, I should rephrase it. Trickster is the word in question. The signal words would be in other words. That will be our clue that we're looking for a synonym, perhaps knave or scoundrel. Now, here I'll move this down so you can actually guess this time. Comparison for a comparison question, our signal words are likewise, similarly, and just as blank, as loud as friendly as troubling as, with an adjective. So for example, also for example, as shown, and then also as illustrated by. These are the signal words. Let's move down to the example. All right. So let's try this ourselves. For example, Anna was cleared of all charges. Similarly, Sam was blank. Okay, so let me ask you this. Where is our signal word or our clue? Where is that in this example?
Similarly,
Yes, very nice. Very nice, Lorena. So now we know. Then let me ask, what is the word in reference, or which word are we focused on at the beginning here, Lorena? Or words, maybe a phrase. I think our video is paused. Michelle, what is the phrase in question?
Cleared of all charges.
Yes, very nice. Very nice. Okay, then, or therefore, what is a similar phrase or word similar to cleared of all charges? This is great because it's court related. What do you think we could do here? Very interesting. What is one word that means cleared of all charges?
Is
not
it
guilty.
Okay. We could do not guilty. Go ahead, Michelle. What's another one?
I was thinking adjunct,
Ooh.
but I'm not sure if it's the right one.
Yeah, it's on the tip of my tongue.
I don't know.
Do you mean adjourn?
Yes, yeah, right. Yes.
Okay. Very close. However, adjourn is for the proceedings of the court, not individual people. Court can be adjourned, but individuals, no. Good try though. Very, very good.
Right.
Not guilty. What's another way of saying not guilty? Doesn't have to be exact, just kind of loose answers here.
Free of charge.
Okay. Free of charges. Okay.
Charges.
Very similar to this one. So maybe not the most precise one there, but that could work. I'm thinking maybe innocent. But I think you all get the point here. This is the phrase in question. Then we've got our signal or clue, and now we're looking for synonyms. Very, very nice. Let's see what they have to say here. Okay, the answer compares being cleared of all charges, as you said, Michelle. So perhaps Sam was vindicated. Very nice, strong adjective. Vindicated. This is a word to add to your list for your life. Just a very strong word. ¿Cómo se dice? ¿Cómo? Vindicado? ¿Cómo? Vindicación? ¿Cómo? No hay. ¿Por qué no?
Reivindicado.
Okay. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure. But vindicated here meaning, what can we say? He was proven right or correct. It's sort of like, almost like revenge. He got revenge, kind of. Like he was right. He was not guilty. Sort of like that. Vindicated. Let me give you a more formal definition here. A little bit less loose, a little bit less rough. So vindicated. Okay, yeah, good. I'll do a nice formal one here. To be cleared of blame or suspicion. So let's say that Lorena was charged with stealing a car, and for 6 months she was in this trial, and it was just so stressful. And she's saying, "Look, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I was just teaching my class, and someone else stole it." And then finally, at the end, the jury says, "Look, she didn't steal the car. What are you guys talking about? No, get out of here. You're free. No problem." Now she's vindicated. All along, she was right, and she's cleared of all that blame. All right. Whew. Let's do just a few more before the break, just a few more here. Now we're going to talk about contrast, the key words being though, although, however, despite, but, yet, on the other hand, but again, however, despite, or on the contrary. I think they doubled that somehow. So for example, we've got, I'll ask Michelle to read. Go ahead.
Although the tiger is a solitary beast, its cousin the lion is a blank animal.
Okay, so what's the signal word here, please?
Although.
Yes, very good. What is the phrase or word in question? Our focus.
Solitary.
Very nice. Yep. So solitary, the adjective. Now, what do you think the answer could be, Michelle?
Social.
Very nice. Because we know that although implies a contrast. Good. And so Michelle knows that the opposite or the contrasting word of solitary would be social. So nice. Well done. Well done. And I know a lot of this is just kind of like intuitive, logical, but I think it's a pretty good review. So let's read what they say here. The answer is something that contrasts with solitary, such as gregarious, or, hey, look at that, social or sociable. Very nice. Well done. You might ask, well, what's the difference between social and sociable? Well, I would say that sociable tends to talk about one individual. Like we could say, Liliana is a very sociable person. Social is the word social is much more general. It can be more of a broad situation. Sociable is usually for individual people, or in this case, animals. Good. All right. All right, so not too much more. Cause and effect, thus, therefore, consequently, and, because, and phrases such as due to, as a result, or leads to. All right, so, I hope you didn't see that. Lorena, go ahead. Please read.
A truck stole her parking spot. Consequently, Sally's blank look showed her displeasure.
Where is our signal word?
Consequently.
Yes, ma'am. Well done. And what is the word in focus? In other words, what word are we trying to compare to? Do you remember grimace? Showed her displeasure, kind of like that. So it will be displeasure here. Okay, now, Lorena, what do you think the answer might be? A truck stole her parking spot. Consequently, Sally's blank look showed her displeasure. Her what look? Her Any other guesses from Liliana or Michelle?
I was thinking frustrated.
Okay, yeah, frustrated. So frustrated, displeasure, perfect, good. Anybody, anything else, Liliana?
Well, you mentioned grimace, so like a grimacing look.
Ooh, and I like that you use the ing. Very nice. Grimacing. Very nice. Good grammar there. And anything else you're thinking of there, Lorena? Anything that comes to mind here? Sort of a negative look? If not, no problem.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay, yeah, no problem. Good, so I think those work. Let's take a look at what they say. Oh, that's it, awesome. So this is the last one. They say, oh, go ahead, Lorena.
But that's calling.
Oh, yeah, good. The answer would be a look caused by someone stealing Sally's parking spot, maybe scowling like a grimace or sullen, sad. Good. So both of these are negative facial emotions. All right. Whew. Any questions before we take a quick break? All right, everybody. Well done so far. I know that was kind of, well, just slow and maybe a little bit frustrating, but good job. Let's take a good 5-minute break and I'll see you guys in about 5 minutes. All right, welcome back. Welcome back. All right. Oh, how was your break, Lorena?
Laughing about myself.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Nice, nice.
About my beautiful English.
Beautiful, wait, what? Beautiful English, what? Okay.
I was laughing about my beautiful English.
All right. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, good. Everybody's back. Welcome back. Welcome back. All right. So I was going to take a look at legal idioms, but let's save that for a little bit later. What I'd really like to complete today is the final section, just 10 idioms to finish up last week's idiom section of the practice exam that we've been working through. So here we go. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so it's more presentable. Let's see if we can do 300. What is that? Do you prefer 300 or 200? Do you like this or do you like it a little bit smaller? Does this work or is that too large? Lorena gives a thumbs up. Michelle nods her head. Liliana's like, yeah, sure. No, just joking. No, good. All right, good. So let's start here. Number 66, and I'll start this one and then I'll ask someone to do 67. So here's 66. Politicians who favor the old single tax idea are beating a dead horse. A, are out of step with the public. B, are wasting time debating the issue. C, are encouraging dissent among the public, or D, are exhibiting little motivation for change. Wow. All right. So we have a lot of options that seem potential. They seem like they could be the answer. Any off the or rather any spontaneously that look like they might be the correct answer to you? Any that pop off the page and seem correct to you? Yeah, Liliana, go ahead.
B, are wasting time debating the issue.
Okay, okay. And why did you choose B, potentially?
Because beating a dead horse, like there's no, well, it's dead already. Why beat it? Like, why? There's no purpose.
All right. Liliana, very good explanation. That is the correct answer. Well done. Well done. And I really liked your explanation, even though it's a little bit bizarre and a little bit, well, strange. It's already dead, right? The horse is already dead. Why are you beating it? It's dead. It's done. It's over. You're wasting time. I think that's the key here. Wasting time debating the issue. Yeah, they're politicians. They're talking about tax schemes. In this particular situation, they're beating a dead horse. They're just spinning their wheels. They're not getting anywhere. They're wasting time. Good. So let's do this. Can anybody give an example sentence using a different situation with beating a dead horse? And again, I know it's kind of a weird idiom. Do you have this idiom in Spanish? Do you say this in Spanish or something similar? No, not really. A uniquely bizarre English idiom. Okay. Does anybody have an example here? Maybe something from your life or with your friends or maybe your boss or teacher or parent, neighbor. Lorena has one that might be funny. Go ahead, Lorena.
Trying to pass the legal exam is like beating a dead horse.
Oh, no.
That's my case.
All right. I disagree, but yeah, I see what you're saying here. I think that's a good example. although it's a little bit pessimistic, I think. But yeah, good, good. Trying to pass the legal exam is like trying to beat a dead horse. So, okay, good, 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 good. 67, let's move on. Let's do, how about Liliana? Go ahead.
Now that she has a job, Patricia can bring home the bacon.
Ooh, okay. What are the possible answers?
A, showcase her professional skills. B, afford to feed her family. C, contribute to her family's expenses. D, earn a competitive salary.
Whoa. So a lot of potentials here. Tricky. What do you think, Liliana? What's your answer?
I'm between B and C, but I feel
Okay.
like I think it's B. I go more for B.
Okay. So you think it's literally about food?
Yeah. Yeah, I did first like when you go through it quickly, I thought C immediately. But bacon, afford to feed her family, it just made sense.
Okay. Okay. Possibly. Possibly. I'm going to ask Michelle, what do you think? Oh, you're muted.
Okay. I'm thinking it's C. I was going for B, but I feel like it might be C.
Okay. And let's be clear, contribute to her family's expenses, meaning she's adding to the list of things they need to pay for.
Mm,
So it might be the opposite of what you might think it is.
yeah. Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you're between which two ones now? A and, or rather B and what?
I would stay with B then. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So we've got 2 for B. Lorena, what do you think?
I was for C2 before, but you said that, so I thought on C.
Wow. You know what? The answer is C. So I don't know why. I don't know why. I just checked the answer, double checked it. They say C, contribute to her family's. Okay, okay. I guess what they're saying is like contribute money to pay the family's expenses. Okay, I guess that makes sense now. I thought they meant like add to the list of things they need to pay for, like groceries and clothes. But I stand corrected. I guess I was wrong. So C is correct. C is correct. So well done, Lorena and Michelle. And actually, Liliana too, I think you were between B and C. So good. Well done. The meaning here is like contribute money to pay for her family's expenses. So kind of a tricky piece of wording here, even caught me. So good. Bring home the bacon. All right, next one here, 68. Let's go to Lorena when you're ready. Oh, you're muted. I think you're on mute.
Sorry. Suspecting a leak to the press, the governor called his press secretary on the carpet to determine the source of the leak, to make an insinuation of culpability, to his office to report to the cabinet, to demand resolution of the issue.
This is tricky. This is a tricky one. On the carpet.
It could be B, to make an insinuation of culpability.
Okay, Michelle.
Or D. Sorry.
I'm gonna have to go with Lorena. I honestly have no idea.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, it's a
yeah.
tricky one. Liliana?
I don't know. I was between C and D. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. This is a really hard one. And the answer is B. So good job, Lorena and Michelle. To make an insinuation, like an accusation, an indirect accusation of culpability. So let's break these out a little bit. Insinuation, it's sort of like, you could say, an indirect accusation. Culpability, another way of saying this is guilt, guilty of doing something wrong. So yeah, so implying, indirectly accusing his press secretary of guilt on the carpet, on the carpet. I'll be honest with you, on the carpet is not a very common idiom. It's not very well used or commonly used. So yeah, good. Tricky one here. Next one.
So I have
Oh
a
yeah,
question.
please.
So on the carpet, it's kind of the same as well as like put on the spot, or because I'm trying to still understand it. So that means that the governor put the press secretary as the one guilty of leaking?
Yes. Yes. But because we have insinuation, it's not like, I don't think the governor said, you know, she did it. It was she. It was more like an implied accusation, like, well, my press secretary was the last one in the room. Kind of like that.
Okay.
I think it's more indirect. It's an insinuation. And to go to your point about put on the spot, kind of has that feel, but to put someone on the spot is not necessarily to accuse them of doing something. Like, for example, I put you guys on the spot every day. I'll say, hey, Liliana, what do you think? And she has to give an answer. But when I say, Liliana, what do you think? I'm not accusing her of anything, but I am putting her on the spot. So you see the difference there.
Yeah. Yes.
Good, good. Great question. Other questions? Whew, these are tricky, real tricky, but good practice. 69, I'll read through it. I don't believe they have enough capital for the buyout. I'm going to call their bluff. I'm going to reveal their deception. I'm going to ask them for hard evidence. I'm going to reprimand their insincerity, or I'm going to force them to make the deal. Maybe you've heard this one. Pretty common, especially bluff. I'm going to call their bluff. This is a poker idiom, as if we're playing poker. Any guesses off the bat? Any guesses as you read it? Liliana, go ahead.
A, reveal their deception.
Very nice. Good job. Good job. Yeah, and so just to very briefly describe it, when someone's bluffing, they're lying. They think that you might believe them, and then they might get the advantage. They sort of present the strength, like, I have really good cards, I'm going to win this hand of poker. I have a really good hand, but actually I have junk. I'm bluffing, I'm lying. I'm hoping that you will believe me. So when we call their bluff, it's sort of like saying, show me your cards. What do you have? I don't believe you. We're asking them to reveal, to show their lie, to show or reveal their deception. So very nice, Liliana. Well done. Called their bluff. Good. Let me give you a quick example. Like, let's say I say, hey, everybody, welcome to class. I think you all have your homework, right? And Michelle really doesn't have her homework, but Michelle says, yeah, I've got my homework. And she's thinking, oh my gosh, I don't have my homework, but I'll just say I do. And I say, okay, so Michelle, what do you think for number 70? And I call her bluff, and she says, you know what? I actually don't have my homework, but I called her bluff. Just an example. So good, good, good. All right, number 70. Let's go on to Liliana. Go ahead.
He had a foolproof alibi, so the police had to give him a clean bill of health. A, release him from custody. B, pay restitution for time served. C, confirm that he was truthful. D, admit they were wrong. I think it would be A, release him from custody.
A again?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Good job. Nice. Nice. Yeah, good. You trusted your instinct. You knew it. So A again, very, very nice. Release him from custody. What the heck is custody? What does that mean? A good legal term here. What is custody?
It's like when you're being questioned, isn't it? For
Yes.
a certain amount of time.
Good. Is it only questioned?
Custody a child when you have the custody of somebody else? Or
Yes. Yes. Another way of saying it is to be in possession of. So exactly. It could be the police are questioning you. That could be a factor of the custody, or you could just be in jail for a few days. No one's asking you questions. You're just there in custody of the police. And then, of course, we could use this in a parental situation, maybe sadly a divorce, and one parent has custody or split custody, possession of the children. So very nice, very nice. Okay, and so in this case, we're talking about a clean bill of health. The idea being that a doctor says, hey, look, healthy, 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 healthy. You're clean, you're good, you're healthy, you're fine. Just in the same way that a person has a good alibi. I was at work at 9 o'clock. I drove home and saw my family. No problem. We can't keep you because we don't suspect anything. So good. I really like this word alibi, which we studied. Let's talk about this real quick. Foolproof. Huh? Foolproof? What? Foolproof. Any guesses? It's a foolproof alibi.
Completely true or from, I don't know.
Good. Completely true. That's a good way of saying it. Let me give you a formal definition here. Another way of saying it here. Incapable of going wrong or being misused. So in other words, it's like saying this person's alibi, his alibi it's not capable of being wrong. Or as Lorena says, it's true. It sounds true, sounds logical, it sounds cogent, it sounds convincing. Awesome. All right, let's move on. Number 71, Lorena, go ahead when you're ready.
What is the pronunciation of E-name?
You got it.
The E-name movie we watched last Saturday left us rolling in the ageless. A, irritated and upset. B, written in vain. C, wondering what came next. D, wild with laughter. Aisles.
Aisle. Yeah, so it's like aisles. Yes.
Aisles.
And Lorena, think about when you're at a grocery store and, like clean up in aisle 5, those spaces between the shelves of food, those rows are called aisles.
Oh, yeah. I
Or,
didn't know that is the right.
yep. Or if we're talking about a cinema, there are also aisles between the seats.
Yes,
So
in the
it's
parking lot too, right?
parking lot.
When we go to the airport, so you are in the L
Oh,
something, or you are in L2 or LB or whatever the things.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. If there are 2 aisles and there's a middle seat, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, good. Okay, so rolling in the aisles.
Could be
Any
C.
wondering what came next? Okay, possibly. Michelle?
Mm, I'm thinking about D.
Wild with laughter. Liliana, what do you think?
I thought C at first too, but then I did think like rolling in the aisles, like you're laughing uncontrollably. So I thought D at the end.
Good correction. You are correct. Well done. Well done. Rolling, think about like you're laughing so much as if you're just rolling. That's the idea. It's not very logical, really, but you're sort of like up and down, rolling, laughing so much in the aisles. You're walking back to your car, you're leaving the cinema. Oh, it's hilarious. And you're just laughing so much. You're wild with laughter. Good. Let's keep on moving. Let's see how many more we have. All right, not too bad. 72. I'm going to read this one for the sake of time. At the grand opening, the actors were dressed to the nines. A, wearing their actual costumes. B, looking their most elegant. C, decked out in matching tuxedos. Or D, dressed in 19th century attire. Liliana, what do you think? Dressed to the nines.
I think B, looking their most elegant.
Okay. Michelle, what do you think?
I agree.
Michelle agrees. And Lorena, what do you think?
I thought in D.
Michelle or Lorena thinks D. Is that your final answer? Tricky. Okay. The answer is B. Well done. Well done. You might ask, why 9? I have no idea. I have no idea why it's 9. Whenever I hear this one, I just think about like 9 out of 10 is like pretty good. So that's what I associate this with. Dressed to the nines, 9 out of 10, looking really, quite nice. So very elegant for a fancy grand opening. Maybe it's a movie premiere or something kind of fancy. Looking their most elegant, their finest clothes, dressed to the nines. You might dress to the nines at a wedding, maybe a funeral, could be somebody's, New Year's Eve party, whatever it might be, dressed to the nines, graduation. All right. Moving on. Michelle, go ahead. 73.
The thief made sure that the coast was clear before making his escape. 8, the tide had receded. Receded?
Receded. Good.
Receded. Okay. B, traffic had begun to clear out. C, the night was quiet. D, nobody was in the area. I would go with D.
Michelle says D. Lorena, looks like Lorena agrees. We got thumbs up. And Liliana?
I agree too.
Wow. Wow. 3 out of 3 say D. Are you sure? Michelle's confident. Lorena's confident. Liliana's like, yes, that's the right one. Good job. Good job. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Yep, nobody was in the area. Nice and simple. The coast was clear. Maybe you've heard this in movies. Very, very common idiom. The coast is clear. Very nice. Yeah, good. Couple more now. Two more. And let's go with Lorena. Go ahead.
Despite the mission, Margaret was cool as cucumber.
Cucumber.
A, calm and composed. B, unconcerned and passive. C, emotionally unresponsive. D, indifferent about the situation.
Cool as a cucumber.
Yeah, but they say despite.
Despite the mishap. It's sort of like saying, even though there was a conflict or a problem.
She was calm
And
composed.
Composed. Okay. Lorena says A. Michelle, what do you think?
D, probably.
Indifferent, having no feeling either way. Indifferent about the situation. And Liliana, I'll ask you, what do you think the answer is?
A, calm and composed.
Ooh, two say A. Two are correct. Good job. Good job. Calm and composed. Think about a cucumber. You know how often some people will put the cucumbers over their eyes. So, supposedly it's helps complexion and all that. Think about someone just with the cucumbers over their eyes. They're just chilling out. It's kind of cool, refreshing, composed. Composed meaning having self-control. Having self-control. They're composed. They're kind of put together. They're organized. They're calm and collected. Good. Self-control. Good. Good, good, good. Cool as a cucumber. That's a good one. I like that one. Last one, 75. Last but not least, Michelle, go ahead. All yours.
She's been cracking the whip ever since she got promoted. A, working more diligently around the clock. B, commanding people to increase productivity. C, putting more effort into finishing her work on time. D, conforming to her supervisor's directives. I might go with B.
Michelle says B. Liliana?
I think B as well.
B as well. Lorena?
I don't think in this one. I thought in C from the beginning, so putting more effort into finishing our work.
Okay. Yeah, that's a logical one too, because she just got promoted and maybe more responsibility. Yeah, so this one actually is B. And the idea is, sadly or strangely, we might say, it's like she has a whip and she's whipping her teammates. Like you might whip a horse, like, come on, let's go. Here we go. Here we go. Let's do it. So she's cracking the whip, trying to command or tell other people to increase their productivity. Maybe she feels stressed. She's got this new promotion, cracking the whip. So that is the correct answer there. Oof, all right, good. So that is the end of that section. Any questions or anything that you wrote down and you thought, oh, let's review this for later? No? All right, good. Good review there. Excellent, excellent. What I am going to do is I'd like to go to this. Let's do a little bit of vocabulary review. I'm going to pull this up, something a little bit different. to change gears, let me share my screen. Kind of like a game, you might say, a little bit less intense. Let me share my screen properly. Let's do this. Stop share, screen share. And I'm going to go to the tab. Let me double check. Yes. Okay. I think you can now see that. Good. Can make it a little bit bigger here. All right, so let's just try this. So I'd like you to tell me, let's just go through this. So try to do it as quickly as we can. Enormous means
Gigantic.
gigantic. Next one, noise means, just quickly.
Sound.
Sound, good. Disease means
Sickness.
sickness, good. Software means
Computer program.
computer programs. Spyglass means
Small
Small
telescope.
telescope.
small telescope, good. Refrigerator means
Icebox.
icebox. Accuse, ooh, good for us.
Blame.
What'd you say, Michelle?
Blame.
Good. Ruin means
Wreck.
Correct.
wreck, good, good synonym. Refrigerate means
Chill.
chill. Gasoline means
Petrol.
petrol. Magnificent means, ooh, tricky.
Splendid.
Splendid. Lorena got that one quick. Rehearsal means
Practice.
practice. Lopsided, ooh, good one. Lopsided means,
Unbalanced.
ooh, nice, Liliana. Unbalanced, unbalanced. Gratitude means
Thankfulness.
thankfulness. Good. Lottery means
Sweepstake.
sweepstake. Excellent, very nice. Tricky one. Sack means
Small pouch.
small pouch. Good. Bloodshed, ooh, means tricky.
Slaughter.
Slaughter, good. Outsider means
Foreigner.
foreigner. Explosion means
Detonation.
Detonation.
detonation, good. 10 more. Handy means
Convenient.
Convenient.
convenient. Oh, I chose the wrong one. All right, good. Pardon means
Forgive.
forgive, good. Bubbly means
Lenient.
fizzy, good, fizzy. Yeah, like fizzy soda. Mass means
Bulk.
bulk, good, good job. Bulk, like majority. Wacky means tricky.
Zany.
Zany, good. 5 more. Oral means
Spoken.
spoken,
Spoken.
good. Gush means
Word.
spurt, like water from a faucet, gushing, good. Traumatize means shock.
Shock.
2 more, 2 more. Heighten means
Intensify.
intensify, very good. Last one, last one. Ooh, hostility means
Unfriendliness.
unfriendliness. Yes, very good. Ooh, good job, good job. That was great. Just wanted to do that kind of quiz exercise there. A lot of good synonyms there. Great. All right, now let's do a general review. We've got about 25 minutes. So I'm going to ask you just totally random questions from what we've studied so far. So let me pull up my master list. Let me see here. 1 second, there it is. What is an antonym of insult? Liliana,
Compliment.
perfect. What is a antonym of separation? Liliana, or Lorena.
Union.
Perfect, good. What is an antonym of active? Lorena.
Igloo. I don't know how to pronounce that. Igloo or igloo? IDL.
You got it, very close. Idol.
Idol.
Do you know the TV show American Idol?
American Idol. Yeah.
It's the same pronunciation.
Idol.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Good. What is the antonym of supply? Liliana.
Demand.
Good. Death. Lorena.
Birth.
Good. Unlikely. Lorena.
Likely.
Good. Weak. Michelle.
Wrong.
Yes. Or one we studied tonight.
Um,
You got it.
oh gosh, I don't remember.
Anybody else?
Strand.
Not quite.
Oh, it wasn't. I know.
It's like strong.
Oh, sturdy.
Sturdy. Good job. And
Sorry. Yeah, you're right.
since we only have 3 people tonight, you don't have to raise your hand. You can just say your answer. It's okay. The antonym of occupied.
Vacant.
Vacant. Good. Tiny.
Huge.
Small. No.
Huge. Huge. Good.
Huge.
Contract.
Expand.
Expand. Good. Sadness.
Happiness.
Good. Or
Joy.
joy. Good. Sparse. Lorena's favorite word.
I think I got it, but
Go ahead, Michelle.
ubiquitous? I don't think I was in this part. I think this is where it came in late.
Oh man, yeah, you know what, that fits. It does fit. Sparse and ubiquitous, occurring in many places. Great answer. That fits. I'm thinking of another one too. Another word from tonight. Begins with a P. Plentiful.
Oh,
Plentiful.
Plentiful.
Plenty.
Plentiful. Yeah, the adjective. Plenty, the noun, or adjective, actually, both adjective and noun. And then plentiful is definitely an adjective. Good. Ignorance. As we grow up, we gain.
Oh, knowledge.
Yes. Knowledge. Good. Wane. Tricky. Wane.
That increase.
Yes. In other words, begins with a W.
Wine.
Oh, wax.
Wax. Good. Wax. Think about this. Think about if you're making a candle, you need more wax to make a candle. Maybe that will help. Wax, candles, more. Good. Next one. All. All.
None.
None. Good. Dry.
Moist.
Fact.
Nonfiction.
Fiction.
Or
Light.
the opposite of fact is
Fiction.
False.
fiction. Very good. Or false. Yeah. And then lastly, descend.
Ascend.
Ascend. Good. This is an adjective to describe evidence that is permitted in the courtroom.
Admissible.
Very nice, Liliana. Very nice. Admissible. Very good. Excellent. This is a synonym of skill. You have a for
Knack.
blank. Knack. Good. Knack. Very
Knack.
nice. Yep. Knack. Great. Next one is a synonym of evaluation.
Oh my God, it's
Starts with an A.
Yes, it does.
Appraisal.
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 Good. Good.
Oh my
Yep.
God, my pronunciation.
You got it. Appraisal. Very nice. This is a person who gives advice or directions without being asked.
backseat driver.
Very nice, Michelle. Backseat driver. Good. This is an idiom that means when you're kind of nervously avoiding conflict. I didn't do my homework tonight, so I don't really want to bring it up because my teacher might get angry. Trying to avoid that, so I'm not going to mention it. I'm really walking on
Eggshells.
good. Walking on eggshells. They might break. Good. This is sadly when someone is very ill or very old. We can say they are
Knocking on death's door.
very nice. Knocking on death's door. Good. This is an idiom that describes someone who has a feeling of wanting revenge.
Next to grind.
Egg in a drink.
Yeah,
Oh, is it
grind.
grind or grind?
Grain or grain? Grind. Okay. And
Yeah.
axe in a drum.
Good.
Right.
Having an axe to grind, making it sharper, presumably to hurt someone. Good. This is, let's say, for example, that Michelle is trying to speak in French and we're all speaking in English. We can say that we are working
Across.
yes. Cross.
Purposes.
Good, Liliana. Very nice.
What'd you say, Liliana?
Cross purposes.
Purposes.
Cross purposes. Okay.
Very nice. Very nice. Good.
Purposes.
Okay. Let's see here. If let's say that, well, this is an idiom that means to make a situation even worse.
Fire something.
Adding fuel to the fire.
Fire.
Good.
Something related with
Fire something.
Add fuel to the fire.
Just fire something. Yes. adding fuel to the fire. Good. Don't write that one on your exam. Fire something. Oh my gosh. Thankfully, it's multiple choice. So that's good. This
yes,
is
definitely.
oh man. This is having like a secret benefit that only you know about. Ooh, I have a
Ace in the hole.
yes, very good. An ace in the hole. Very good.
Ace in the hole.
Good. All right. So let's do just one more and then we'll move on. This is an adjective that means open, honest, straightforward, frank.
Oh, candid.
Very nice, Liliana. Candid. Yep. Very good. Maybe you have a candid conversation with your best friend. Exactly. Good. All right. Good. Any questions from that quick review? No? All right. Good. Good. Now let's move on to do a little bit more work with the idioms. I'm going to share my screen. 1 second, please. Let me pull it up. Okay. Again, this is going to be kind of like a quiz format. Let me make it a little bit bigger here. So we're going to talk again about idioms. So it's going to be a pretty idiom heavy night here. So, speaking about legal and law idioms, choose the correct idiom to replace the expression in the brackets. Check your score. So this is scored. Click on the idiom for the definition. All right, so let's just try it. Let's give it a shot. Number 1, Lorena.
The earthquake was a natural event that people were not responsible for, so the insurance company did not pay insurance for it. A, grounded in fact. B, a gray area. And out of God, a matter of record. Can be D, a matter of record.
Okay. Michelle, what do you think?
Maybe C.
Maybe an act of God. And then finally, Liliana, what do you think?
C, an act of God.
Okay, so let's do majority. And so majority says C. We'll give it a shot. Number 2, and we'll check at the end. Number 2, Michelle, go ahead.
The police department planned to, the police department planned to more strictly enforce the law against people who drive too fast near schools. Build a case against, crack down, take the law into their own hands with, turn a blind eye to.
Strictly enforce the laws.
Build a case against.
Okay. Liliana?
I say B, crack down on.
Okay, crack down on. And Lorena shakes her head. I think she
Correct,
agrees.
Anna.
All right, majority says B. 3, go ahead, Liliana.
The woman's account was overdue and she was going to have to start paying a penalty. A, null and void. B, in dispute. C, at arm's length. D, in arrears. I think it's D, in arrears.
Okay, Lorena? Lorena?
In dispute, I thought.
Oh, okay. And Michelle?
D.
Okay, 2 say in arrears. All right, we'll try it. 4, let's go with Michelle. Go ahead.
The man was able to operate the illegal travel company without risk of punishment, with impunity, with no strings attached, under a cloud of suspicion, to the letter.
Without risk of punishment.
Without a risk of punishment. I want to go with A.
Okay, with impunity. Liliana?
B, with no strings attached.
No strings attached. And Lorena, it's up to you.
To the letter.
To the letter. Oh my gosh. So we've got a split here. Oof. Yikes.
I would like to change my answer to B.
Ah,
No
okay.
strings attached. Okay.
All right, we've got a majority here. All right. And then finally, for this section, number 5, Lorena.
The manager wrote a false letter of complaint and was charged with misrepresenting himself to achieve his illegal aims. A, being an expert witness, being a false witness, false arrest, false pretenses. B.
Okay, being a false witness. Michelle?
I'll go with D.
B as in boy?
No, D.
D as in dog?
Dinosaur.
Dinosaur?
Yes, dog.
Wait, is Veronica here? Oh, okay. Never mind. She loves that. She loves that one dinosaur. Liliana, how about you?
D as well.
D as in what?
Dinosaurs.
Oh, okay. All right. So majority says D, false pretenses. All right. Wow. So let's check. Oh, 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5. So let's see. Oh, correct answers are, okay, so number 1 is C. So correct, act of God. Good. Number 2, I believe, is correct. B, yep. So crack down on. Good. 3, null and void. D. Oh, excuse me, in arrears. So good. We got that
Okay.
one right. 4, A. Ah, that's our mistake. With impunity. With impunity. So take a look here. Pun, punishment. You know, punishment is, that's negative, right? So punishment, pun, having that root word, and then we've got impunity, meaning without punishment. Im, negative prefix, punity is punishment. Without punishment is with no punishment. You know how many criminals in the world just keep on doing their thing? They have impunity just for whatever reason. The police don't know. Lawyers don't press charges, maybe corruption, whatever it might be. Impunity, no punishment, no punishment. So good. That was the only one that we got wrong. It's D.
No, I've gone
Number 5
through
is D.
3.
Oh, what was that, Lorena? Oh, you got more?
3.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But good. It's good practice. It's all good practice.
Yeah, it's a good practice.
Number 5, you got quite well done. False pretenses. Very good. I thought it was going to be false witness, but I am wrong. I stand corrected. All right, good. Any questions from any of these or from the vocab? All right.
In arrears,
Hmm.
it's, I don't know, it's something I never heard before.
I have a question for you. What direction is rear?
Behind?
Correct. Good.
Oh.
Yes. Good. Good. So it's like she's behind on her payment. Her account is overdue. She's due to pay, and she's behind on paying for her account. So maybe that will be helpful.
Yes, that helps a lot. Okay.
Good. Great question. Great question. Good. Other questions? All right. Awesome. Awesome. We've got about 10 more minutes. Let's do another one here. Quiz 2. All right. Number 6, I'm going to ask Liliana when you're ready.
The lawyers gathered a large group of people and began a lawsuit that represents everyone. A class action lawsuit, community property lawsuit, bona fide lawsuit, next of kin lawsuit. And I would say it's a class action.
Okay. Michelle, what do you think? You shaking your head, or Michelle agrees? Lorena's like, yeah, sure. No, I think, no, she really knows. She knows this one. So everybody says A. Good. I think that might be correct. Number 7, Lorena, go ahead. Oh, you're muted.
The mediator told the 2 groups in the lawsuit unofficially what he thought their chances of success will be.
Good. Chances of what?
Success.
Good.
Will be beyond a reasonable doubt of the record by the book in plain English. B.
You think it's off the record? Lorena, yes?
Yes. Officially, yes.
Okay. And Michelle shakes her head. Liliana, everybody agrees, off the record. Whoop. Hold on a second, please. What just happened? I clicked on it accidentally. 1 second here. Get back to it. All right. Number 8, let's do Michelle. Go ahead.
The young man got into trouble with the law when he was a teenager. Lodged a complaint, jumped bail, ran afoul of the law, stretched the truth. I will go with C.
Ran afoul of the law. Liliana, what do you think?
C as well.
Okay, C as well. Lorena?
Jumped bail.
Well, 2 out of 3 say C, so we'll go with C. Maybe it is jumped bail. We'll find out. We'll find out. Number 9, let's go to Liliana.
Our lawyer very carefully read the part of the document which was difficult to read before we signed the contract. Straight and narrow, common law, penalty clause, small print. I'll say D, small print.
Small
Small
print.
print.
Everybody
Yeah.
agrees. Michelle shakes her head
Yeah.
too. All right. Good. And last one here, I'll give to Lorena. Go ahead.
At first view, it looked as though the man had a good case against the company. Prima facie, post-mortem, hit cavity enter.
Tricky. These are Latin phrases.
Could you pronounce those for me, please?
Sure. I believe this is prima facie or prima facie. Not quite sure. Post-mortem, quid pro quo, and caveat emptor. Prima facie, I think it is. And then caveat emptor. Which one?
A.
A.
Prima
Okay.
facie.
And everybody agrees with A. All right. So let's check it out. What do we have here? Whoa! Look at that. So we got 5 out of 5. So good.
Yeah, and I just want.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? Good for you for sticking to your conviction, Lorena. So class action lawsuit, large group of people. 7, off the record, unofficially. Got into trouble. Yes. Ran afoul. Foul being bad. So ran afoul of the law. Sort of like a pronoun or a preposition here, afoul. Small print, or in other words, sometimes you might hear the fine print, very fine print, hard to read. And then prima facie, let's just double check the pronunciation. Does anybody have a conviction on that pronunciation? I think it's prima facie.
Just go primary or something, but it wasn't like.
Okay, prima facie. Can you guys hear that too? You can hear it? Okay, good. So prima facie, based on the first impression, accepted as correct until proved otherwise. So it's like right off the bat, just from seeing it initially. Good. All right. Okay, so we've got about 3 more minutes there. We'll stop for today. Any questions from these idioms that we studied at the end? Anything that you wanted to go back and clarify, or vocab, grammar? I'll include these in the notes for today's session. Michelle, question?
Yeah, on the class action lawsuit, is that always where a group of people disagree with something?
As opposed to, what are you thinking of?
Not sure.
You mean like
lawsuit that because I'm reading a lawsuit that represents everyone, so class action is everyone. I don't know. Is it a specific group of people?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
A specific group of people. Often it might be customers or clients. Maybe sometimes you get emails sometimes like, oh, you were determined to be the customer of Ford Motor Car, and it was found that this engine was faulty and there's a class action lawsuit that you can be part of. And so often it's customers, it might be employees, maybe the employer did something wrong or illegally. And so a group of employees get together and they have a class action lawsuit. Maybe it's students with a university. It's usually some group, some specified group of plaintiffs in a course or a court situation. Yeah.
Okay.
And you know what? Actually, that would be a great question for Dr. Gabitas. I think he could provide a little bit more clarity on that one. That's a great question.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Anybody else? All right, we've got 1 more minute. So I'm going to ask you a pop quiz question. One of the most important questions of the night. What is an adjective that means relaxed, calm?
Nonchalant.
Nonchalant, good. One more question. Last question. This describes somebody who is very careful and who tries to be very accurate.
Thinking of one, this is punctative, but I don't think it's right.
For example, Liliana is very careful with her homework sentences.
Meticulous.
Very good. Meticulous. Meticulous. Very good. Good job, Lorena. Awesome. All right. So we are at the hour, 8:30. Well done, everybody, tonight. It was a small group of people tonight, but you guys are the core. I think you're doing a really good job. Awesome effort. As always, if you have questions this week, just send me an email. Let me know through Telegram, whatever it is. But otherwise, just good work tonight. Keep it going. Next week is our last session. And I'm going to be sending you more information on that flash session, which is sort of like a bonus if you're interested in doing that.
Okay.
But otherwise, good job, everybody. Have a wonderful evening and an excellent week. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you, Dr. David.
Have a great night.
Bye-bye.
Good
I have
night.
a question.
Oh, sure.
If I have a question